So the princess awakens. So there's a lot of ways this can go down. With the ending of this episode, there's just many directions. And so I'm going to try to theorize what most likely is going on here. So at the end of the episode, you have it to where the fraud princess, yes, I want to call her the fraud princess because her name is just weird to say. So I'm just going to call her fraud princess because she wants to be her sister. So, the ending leaves us questioning and speculating, like, okay, so what does the ending really mean? Because the last final scene before the episode is done, you get to see the real princess open her eyes, and then you hear a heartbeat sound like a dun, dun. You know, if you're in a hospital, you hear that heartbeat sound. You probably heard it before in other movies and series and stuff like that. So, we hear that sound, and then the episode ends. And we know the fraud princess, she was typing stuff on the computer and all that, and from the looks of it, it looked like she was turning off the life support of the machine. That's what it looked like to me. So, here's the thing. Did she just kill the princess? Like, there's multiple ways. Either the princess woke up thanks to her actions of, I'm guessing, either turning off life support or waking her up or something like that, or the princess is about to die and suffocate inside the tube. One or the other. I mean, the princess is either going to get out, like the fraud princess saved her and she's about to get out, or she tried to kill her sister. Even though she said, like, you're my sister, I wouldn't do that, I still don't know how I feel about that dialogue, because that dialogue can be quite confusing depending on how you take it. So, we really don't know the real actions of what she tried to mean behind that, because she said she wanted to become her sister. Like, she is now the fraud princess, and I'm like, hey. So, well, we don't know. We don't know how to really take that ending. But, here's the thing. I will kind of be a little bit pissed, if they make the princess forget everything. Like, if the princess gets out of that tube next week, like, she gets out of that, you know, Crisis tube, Crowder tube, whatever, you know, whatever name you want to attach to it, and she gets out of it, okay? If she forgets everything that happened, she forgets Inaho, Slain, everything, if she forgets every single aspect, and probably even herself, I'm going to be pissed. I will straight up be very, 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 very mad. Because this is the conflict I want to see in Aldnoah.Zero Season 2. Because all of us have been watching this and seeing Slain in these past couple episodes through the journey of Season 2. He's a psychopath. He's straight up a psycho. From last episode, it was clarified and 100% obvious after that episode that Slain is a psycho. And if the princess gets out of that, we all know she's going to look at Slain as if he's a monster. She's going to look at him like, what the hell are you? Like, that's how the princess is going to look at Slain. And if she forgets, like, if they use a plot device as the princess forgetting when she gets out of that, I'm going to be just, that better not happen. I really, really hope that does not happen. But, I have hope. I have hope. But, this episode, besides the ending, it was pretty much how we all kind of expected the episode to go. Slain versus the Krusty Knight. The Krusty Knight dude got wrecked eventually. I mean, you saw Slain have a little bit of a hard time at first because that dude's mech was constantly just shooting at him from different angles, and even though he had the Farsis that could detect the different, you know, ranges and like when things are coming at him in certain time frames, it still couldn't help him if he was getting attacked from all directions. So, Slain eventually cornered him, like, he went back into, like, this little hole inside of a crater. All the attacks focused in on once Slain was able to dodge it, shoot him down, and then kill the Krusty Knight. So, at the end of the day, we all knew Slain would be fine. It was obvious, it really was, because Slain is one of the main characters. We know for a fact there has to be a final battle between Slain and Inaho at the end of the series, because that's going to probably settle the entirety of Aldnoah.Zero, their final battle over probably the princess or whatever, or Earth and Mars. But besides that, the other segment of this episode, you get to see the laser knights. Now, yes, I'm not really calling them by their names because they're pretty much considered fodder. They really are. These knights that have been introduced recently are pretty much fodder. Like, they're getting KO'd, like, fast. Like, you'd think that this count that was, you know, kind of shown in this episode, fighting in the middle of the town, he would have lasted a lot longer. Like, his range and abilities and his laser and all that, I mean, he had the longest range. Like, he covered an entire city. He could shoot a really long-ass distance, and he had a really strong mech. But at the end of the day, when you have someone that has, you know, a lie detector inside of his brain, and also can, you know, judge distances and calculations and stuff like that, you're kind of fucked. So, I like the, you know, intellectual tactics in this episode. I actually do like that. That's one thing I really liked about this episode. Getting to see the tactics, once again, by Aldnoah of how he used, like, gravity and different things like that. Like, he used the Earth's rotation and gravity to be able to use artillery to reach that dude's mech. But the laser dude, from what Aldnoah said, since his attack is a laser, it could only go straight because, you know, it's light-based, and light goes, you know, straight pretty much unless it reflects. And so, since it went straight, you had it to where his attack couldn't curve over, like, you know, the Earth's terrain. And that was his greatest weakness because, you know, artillery, when it comes to, like, bombs and stuff, you know, it rotates around the Earth kind of slightly. It hits back to the ground. So, Aldnoah used that, and I love the intellectual battle of that. That was a really nice little addition of this episode, along with Slain, you know, using his tactics with the crater. So, that's the episode, really. In a nutshell, that is the episode. It's a very, 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 very simple episode. It's not bad, just simple. I mean, hey, the ending alone, though, that has me hyped. That ending of this episode has me hyped for what is going to happen, because I wonder what the princess is going to do. If she doesn't forget her memory, she's going to tear Slain a new one. She will. Or it'd be really, really screwed up if Slain kills her. Or, you know, the other princess kills her. Like, actually, I want to make a theory real quick. From the first season, I don't remember if it was in the opening song or the ending song from the first season, but I remember a lot of Chibits mentioning that when I was reviewing Season 1 of Aldnoah.Zero. A bunch of Chibits said, like, why did the princess die at the end? Like, there's no way she could die, because in the opening and ending song, it showed her holding a gun at someone, and we never got to see who the gun was pointed towards in the opening song. So, I'm willing to bet the princess is going to point the gun at Slain. I'm willing to bet, because I feel like that opening or ending song, whatever scene it was in, like which opening or ending, I feel like that was foreshadowing to what the princess decision is going to be towards Slain. So we'll have to see on that. Overall, decent episode. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how'd you feel about Laser-kun getting, you know, wrecked by Aldnoah? How do you feel about Krusty not getting wrecked by Slain? How do you feel about the psychotic, you know, little sister of the princess, the fraud princess pretty much, you know, trying to kill her sister, and either turning off life support or waking her up or something like that? I mean, how do you feel about that? You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.